A brave man only dies once, a coward many times. If we wonder often, the gift of knowledge will come. Seek wisdom, not knowledge. Knowledge is of the past, wisdom is of the future. There are two wolves fighting inside all of us. The one you feed wins. Beware of the man who does not talk and the dog that does not bark. Don't let yesterday use up too much of today. The weakness of the enemy makes our strength. Make my enemy brave and strong, so that if defeated, I will not be ashamed. The bird who has eaten cannot fly with the bird that is hungry. If a man is as wise as a serpent, he can afford to be as harmless as a dove. The greatest strength is gentleness. What one fears, one destroys. Hold on to what is good, even if it's a handful of earth. A good chief gives, he does not take. It is easy to be brave from a distance. The one who tells the stories rules the world. We will be known forever by the tracks we leave. Cherish youth, but trust old age. You can't wake a person who is pretending to be asleep. All dreams spin out from the same web. It is better to have less thunder in the mouth and more lightning in the hand. Listen, or your tongue will make you deaf. The ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Wisdom comes only when you stop looking for it and start living the life the Creator intended for you. Do not judge your neighbour until you walk 2 moons in his moccasins. It does not require many words to speak the truth. Don't be afraid to cry. It will free your mind of sorrowful thoughts. Ask questions from your heart and you will be answered from the heart. What is life? It is a flash of firefly in the night. Life is like a path, and we all have to walk the path. The journey is more important than the destination. If you see no reason for giving thanks, the fault lies in yourself. Each person is his own judge. Every step is a prayer. You have to look deeper, way below the anger, the hurt, the hate. The American Indian is of the soil. Being Indian is an attitude, a state of mind, a way of being in harmony with all things. Take only what you need and leave the land as you found it. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. Only when the last tree has been cut down, the last fish caught, the last river poisoned, only then will we realize that one cannot eat money. We are made from Mother Earth and we will go back to Mother Earth. We are all one child spinning through Mother Sky. All plants are our brothers and sisters. They talk to us, and if we listen, we can hear them. Walk lightly in the spring. Mother Earth is pregnant. When you were born, you cried and the world rejoiced. Live your life so that when you die, the world cries and you rejoice. When you know who you are, when your mission is clear and you burn with the inner fire of unbreakable will, no cold can touch your heart, no deluge can dampen your purpose. You know that you are alive. When a man moves away from nature, his heart becomes hard. There is no death, only a change of worlds. Humankind has not woven the web of life, we are but one thread within it. The frog does not drink up the pond in which he lives. The land is sacred. The land is our mother. The rivers our blood. The beauty of the trees, the softness of the air, the fragrance of the grass, they speak to me. The land is the mother of all things. The land is sacred. We must protect the forest for those who can't speak for themselves. When we show our respect for other living things, they respond with respect for us. We are not separate from the earth, we are a part of it, whether we like it or not. Everything on the earth has a purpose, every disease and herb to cure it. Treat the earth well. It was loaned to you by your children. The earth has its music for those who will listen. You must speak straight so that your words may go as sunlight to our hearts. Listen to the wind, it talks. Listen to the silence, it speaks. Listen to your heart, it knows. Silence is the true teacher. It is in the silence that we hear the deepest truths. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, they will say, "We did it ourselves." Honor your words. They are the stones of your foundation. The earth is not just our environment, it is the heartbeat of our ancestors. When a white army battles Indians and wins, it is called a great victory, but if they lose, it is called a massacre. There is a mistaken belief that the word Indian refers somehow to the country, India. When Columbus washed up on the beach in the Caribbean, he was not looking for a country called India. Europeans were calling that country Hindustan in 1492. Columbus called the tribal people he met Indio, from the Italian Indio, meaning in God. I am going to venture that the man who sat on the ground in his teepee, meditating on life and its meaning, accepting the kinship of all creatures, and acknowledging unity with the universe of things, was infusing into his being the true essence of civilization. All life is a circle. The atom is a circle. Orbits are circles. The earth, moon, and sun are circles. The seasons are circles. The cycle of life is a circle. Baby, youth, adult, elder. The sun gives life to the earth, who feeds life to the trees, whose seeds fall to the earth to grow new trees. We need to practice seeing the cycles that the Great Spirit gave us, because this will help us more in our understanding of how things operate. We need to respect these cycles and live in harmony with them. We must go beyond the arrogance of human rights. We must go beyond the ignorance of civil rights. We must step into the reality of natural rights, because all of the natural world has a right to existence, and we are only a small part of it. There can be no trade-off. Kinship with all creatures of the earth, sky, and water was a real and active principle. In the animal and bird world, there existed a brotherly feeling that kept us safe among them. The animals had rights, the right of man's protection, the right to live, the right to multiply, the right to freedom, and the right to man's indebtedness. This concept of life and its relations filled us with the joy and mystery of living. It gave us reverence for all life. It made a place for all things in the scheme of existence with equal importance to all. Before our white brothers arrived to make us civilized men, we didn't have any kind of prison. Because of this, we had no delinquents. Without a prison, there can be no delinquents. We had no locks nor keys, and therefore among us there were no thieves. When someone was so poor that he couldn't afford a horse, a tent, or a blanket, he would in that case receive it all as a gift. We were too uncivilized to give great importance to private property. We didn't know any kind of money, and consequently, the value of a human being was not determined by his wealth. We had no written laws laid down, no lawyers, no politicians. Therefore, we were not able to cheat and swindle one another. We were really in bad shape before the white men arrived, and I don't know how to explain how we were able to manage without these fundamental things that, so they tell us, are so necessary for a civilized society. The life of an Indian is like the wings of the air. That is why you notice the hawk knows how to get his prey. The Indian is like that. The hawk swoops down on its prey. So does the Indian. In his lament, he is like an animal. For instance, the coyote is sly. So is the Indian. The eagle is the same. That is why the Indian is always feathered up. He is a relative to the wings of the air. Out of the Indian approach to life, there came a great freedom, an intense and absorbing respect for life, enriching faith in a supreme power, and principles of truth, honesty, generosity, equity, and brotherhood as a guide to mundane relations. Friend, do it this way. That is, whatever you do in life, do the very best you can with both your heart and minds. And if you do it that way, the power of the universe will come to your assistance, if you heart and mind are in unity. When one sits in the hoop of the people, one must be responsible because all of creation is related, and the hurt of one is the hurt of all, and the honor of one is the honor of all, and whatever we do affects everything in the universe. If you do it that way, that is, if you truly join your heart and mind as one, whatever you ask for, that's the way it's going to be. I do not see a delegation for the four-footed. I see no seat for the eagles. We forget and we consider ourselves superior. But we are, after all, a mere part of creation, and we must consider to understand where we are. And we stand somewhere between the mountain and the ant, somewhere and only there as part and parcel of the creation. Only to the white man was nature a wilderness, and only to him was the land infested with wild animals and savage people. To us it was tame, earth was bountiful, and we were surrounded with the blessings of the great mystery. One thing to remember is to talk to the animals. If you do, they will talk back to you. But if you don't talk to the animals, they won't talk back to you. Then you won't understand, and when you don't understand, you will fear, and when you fear, you will destroy the animals. And if you destroy the animals, you will destroy yourself. Never has America lost a war, but name, if you can, the last peace the United States won. Victory, yes, but this country has never made a successful peace, because peace requires exchanging ideas, concepts, thoughts, and recognizing the fact that two distinct systems of life can exist together without conflict. Consider how quickly America seems to be facing its allies of one war as new enemies. It was our belief that the love of possessions is a weakness to be overcome. Children must early learn the beauty of generosity. They are taught to give what they prize most, that they may taste the happiness of giving. The Indians, in their simplicity, literally give away all that they have, to relatives, to guests of other tribes or clans, but above all, to the poor and the aged, from whom they can hope for no return. Children, language, lands, almost everything was stripped away, stolen when you weren't looking because you were trying to stay alive. In the face of such loss, one thing our people could not surrender was the meaning of land. In the settler mind, land was property, real estate, capital, or natural resources. But to our people, it was everything: identity, the connection to our ancestors, the home of our non-human kinfolk, our pharmacy, our library, the source of all that sustained us. Our lands were where our responsibility to the world was enacted, sacred ground. It belonged to itself. It was a gift, not a commodity, so it could never be bought or sold. These are the meanings people took with them when they were forced from their ancient homelands to new places. Once I was in Victoria, and I saw a very large house. They told me it was a bank, and that the white men placed their money there to be taken care of, and that by and by they got it back with interest. We are Indians, and we have no such bank. But when we have plenty of money or blankets, we give them away to other chiefs and people, and by they return them with interest, and our hearts feel good. Our way of giving is our bank. May the stars carry your sadness away. May the flowers fill your heart with beauty. May hope forever wipe away your tears. And above all, may silence make you strong.